Hello everyone and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 11 deadline stream with me, Holly Shand. Figured out that the mic wasn't working, so that is a good start. I've just got in from taking my daughter to football. It was a chilly one this morning. We've got an hour and a quarter until the deadline. Lots to get through today. The main focus will be answering your questions. I think it's going to be a quiet week in terms of team leaks. We've got the early kickoff is Fulham against Manchester United, which I don't think are teams that we're particularly invested in right now. We could get some leaks for later in the day as well. A lot of people looking to roll the transfer this week, so I think a lot of the decisions maybe have already been made. But because this is a bit of a quieter stream, I'll definitely have lots of opportunity to answer your questions. So if you are here and in the chat, do come and say hello and make sure to like the stream and subscribe to the channel as well. Let's try and get the stream up to 100 likes to start with today. Lots to get through then in terms of questions because it is a bit quieter. It looks like we're on the FPL Juice show as well. They've caught me early on into the stream. Just wanted to start with the news from yesterday, which is that Udogie is 50-50 for Monday's game, but I still think it's a sell anyway because I don't like Spurs fixtures from a defensive perspective. So I think if you've got Udogie, there's probably better options out there right now as well. We know that Pedro Neto is out for a few weeks. It looked quite serious, so I'm kind of not really suspecting that we see him too early into December, but let's see. And we didn't get any new updates on Estupiñán, and a lot of managers expecting him back soon. And De Zerbi said last week that he should be back before the break, but then he said this week that he isn't due this week. International duty is always a problem with him as well, so I'm not expecting him back too soon. My team, you can see on screen, 99% team rating and a 96% game week rating. I'm pretty excited for this one. Haaland is my captain. I cannot look past him right now in terms of captaincy. Really excited to see how the team performs again this week. I've got Son, Salah, Maddison and Bomo and Diaby, who all delivered big for me last week. I guess the thing that I'm missing is Saka, but hopefully I can get away with it. I'll jump over to the chat and see who is in then. I think I've seen quite a lot of faces already, so thank you to everyone that is here earlier than the advertised time either. Marin is in. Rannick is in, as is VJ, David, Anthony, Dev, Peter, TPS player, Light Rays, FPL Juice show. I'm on, or I was on a little bit ago. Mark is in, Tabo, Cayman, Obed, that TPS player, Dev, Alan, Akshat is modding as well. Thank you. Yassine, Village and Obed. If I've given your name a shout out there, make sure that you like the stream because there's 64 of you are in. We're only at 22 likes, so make sure you're saying hello in the chat and liking and subscribing. I've got the tweet deck open as normal, and I've also got all of those updates from the press conferences yesterday pinned, but I don't think there's too much in terms of in those bookmarks of things that we've not covered already that really impacting people this week. But let me know in the chat if there is any specific injuries that you want me to go through. I've just driven home from football, so I'm just going to refresh the tweet deck. I'm probably going to have to give it a full refresh, else it's just going to go crazy. Just to make sure that we've not missed anything so far this morning. Well, as I said, with an hour and 10 minutes to the deadline, it's still pretty early. With it being a quieter stream than some, hoping that I can answer quite a lot of your questions in the stream today as well. So keep dropping those in the chat and I'll get to them in just a moment. It's all looking quiet though on the tweet deck so far, so I think we're safe in terms of any leaks. But I've got my WhatsApp open, I've got Discord open. Anywhere where we're likely to get any team leaks, it's all covered. So hopefully we're on top of everything this morning. But thank you everyone that has joined. Keep liking and subscribing. We're nearly at 50 likes, which is great to see. And I'm going to I think I've pressed the wrong button on my PC, but I am going to start answering some of your questions, particularly those of them, those of you that were here early. Peter has asked, what should I do with Sarr? Should I hold or sell? I think I would sell. I think right now there's better options at that price point in that position. So I think you can look to get rid. I don't think you'll regret moving him on, if I'm honest. Mark says, thoughts on Hwang and Alvarez in for Ward-Prowse and Solanke. Hwang and Alvarez look like really nice picks for this week due to their fixtures, but I don't love them as options long term. So I think for that reason, I probably wouldn't make the transfers. I think if you're buying a new cheap forward and midfielder, I think there are better options over the long term than those. What I would do is get your AI recommended transfers over on Fantasy Football Hub. You can get these with a 7-day free trial to try it out, see what you think. I'll put the link in the chat. I think it's in the description as well. But if you go on the AI transfers, it will give you a recommendation of what moves to make for your squad this week, whether that be rolling a transfer or making a transfer. You can also take a look at the predicted points as well. So my recommended transfer is to go from Diaby to Matoma, with Matoma projected to outscore Diaby over the next 5 game weeks. But also, if you have a look at the points predictions over the next 4 game weeks, that'll get you a bit of an idea. I think in terms of midfielders, if you've not got Mbomo, he looks like a great pick right now at that price point, or Anthony Gordon, likewise, among the budget midfielders. And then budget forwards, bit trickier this one. Nketiah feels too short term in terms of a punt, but it depends on what you can afford or whether you even want that forward slot. I mean, it's Haaland and Watkins for my front line right now, and 3-5-2 feels like the optimal formation. So if you're not there, then I think that's what I would be working towards this week. Well, hopefully that has answered your question, Peter. Oh, sorry, Mark, even. Anthony says, do you think Rashford will come good? Man U, a right mess on the field and off the field. Yeah, I don't think he will come good. I think he's apologised, hasn't he, for his performance the other day. I mean, Casemiro is a big loss and he's going to be out for weeks, no return date. And we've also got Shaw still out, Lindelof a doubt for this week, Martinez out long term. I'm not expecting it to get any better anytime soon for United, so I do not hold Rashford. You should have sold him a few weeks ago, but if you still got him, move him on. Cayman says Wissa or Gordon. I quite like Gordon. I think if Isaac's out kind of longer term, I think Gordon will get some opportunities to play as the number 9, because Wilson, as we've seen in previous seasons, he needs the rest. Dev says about downgrading Sterling to Hwang. Still prefer Gordon. And Alan asked who to replace Neto with. Again, I would say Gordon there. I just need to check that I've not missed any member questions. I think we're all right. Got a bit distracted. Yassine says start Højlund or Adingra. I'd go with Adingra. Obed has asked Mbomo or Diaby. It's got to be Mbomo. I think Diaby's okay. If you can't get to Watkins, I think Diaby is okay. But yeah, I think Mbomo's like a really nice long-term hold just because of his routes to points. The fact that he's on penalties and set pieces. Interestingly, if you look at the Opta stats, again, you can get this with your 7-day free trial on the hub using the link in the description or pinned in the chat. If you look at expected goal involvements this season, Haaland first, Salah second, and Bomo third. And then there's a big gap to the rest of the pack. So if you wanted any conviction, I know that's skewed by XG, and obviously Mbomo on pens has helped that. But even if you look at non-pen XG, And Bomo's still fourth in there, not far behind Isaac and Watkins either. So, yeah. Still haven't warmed up from football. I need a bigger coat on next week. Jorgen says, Villanyen says, is it worth selling Watkins to Darwin for a -4? Absolutely not. I've never been that hot on Darwin, and I feel like he's still got a lot to prove for me before I really consider him a credible fantasy asset. If we look again back at the points predictions, I'm going to open this in another tab because I like to have the Opta stats up as well. If we look at the points predictions for forwards over the next 4 game weeks, it's Haaland, Wilson, who we suspect will see less rotation with Isaac out, and Watkins. Nunes is way down, even with some really strong underlying stats, and minutes does not help him at all. 59 minutes in the predictions. For Watkins, you know he's going to play 90 every game. I wouldn't even do it with a free transfer, let alone for a hit. Jorgen says, my dilemma this week is to start Trippier or White. What are your thoughts? Got to be Trippier. I think... Let me just find the clean sheet odds first of all. I would not bench Trippier this week at all. If we have a look at... Here we go. The clean sheet percentages for this week. Newcastle, 27%. Arsenal are actually higher, which surprises me. But if we look at predicted points for defenders this week, Trippier's in the top 5, 4.3 predicted points. The thing I like about Trippier this season, top for key passes, second for big chances. I'm sure I did this on the stream yesterday as well. Third for assists. Second for the most corners taken among all players this season. Top for free kicks taken. And then if you look defensively at the best team in terms of big chances conceded, it's Newcastle, only 8. If you filter that by home games, 5 big chances conceded in 5 home games. So I actually fancy Newcastle to get a clean sheet, or I hope so, because I've got Dan Burn to play. I think given the kind of injury issues that Arsenal have got as well, that will certainly help. Rannock says Smith Rowe out for a couple of weeks. Yeah, I think it could even be longer than that. Odegaard's meant to be back. Yeah, an unknown return date at the moment. Paul Hayes says Bruno 2 and Bomo surely right. Yeah, I've got to agree with that one. Let's jump over, because it's 10 o'clock, so we're an hour to the deadline. Let's jump over to the tweet deck and see if we've got anything significant going on in terms of leaks or anything like that. So, looking quite quiet at the moment. I think we're safe. No, hardly anything going on Twitter on a Saturday morning in general. Just surprising. So plenty of time to keep going with your questions, of course. And if you haven't done so already, let's give the stream a like. There's over 100 of you in. We're not at 100 likes though. So do what you can to help me, help support the channel. I'm trying to get to 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but obviously I'm going to need a lot of your help from you guys to get there, and only about 50% of the people that watch my content actually subscribe to the channel. So if you are one of them, help me out, help me get there. The beauty of this stream is that because it's a bit quieter than some, you're more likely to get your questions answered. K-Men said Wissa or Gordon. I'm sure I've done that one already, but Gordon. Kushal says start both Trippier and White. I think I'd start Trippier over White, if I'm honest. I think White can be benched this week. Yassine, start Hoyland or Adingra. I'm sure I've done that one already, Adingra. Shane is asking for news on Luis Diaz. Yeah, Klopp said in his press conference, let me see if I can find it. I have got it bookmarked, that he's training and he was going to leave it to him to decide. Here we go. Yesterday is part of the session. When he's with the boys, he was fine, but you can see he didn't sleep a lot. We have to see how he is and go from there. Anything that gives us a little bit of hope is good. We are waiting for good news. It's all about him, if he makes himself available or not. So that's all we know. They don't play until tomorrow. So I doubt they're going to travel until later today. So I don't think we'll get an update pre-deadline on that one, to be fair. But, you know, thoughts with him and his family at the moment, that's the big thing, isn't it? I think if I was a Diaz owner, I think I'd probably sell. Parameter says, should I play both Trippier and White? I'd play Trippier, but I think you can get away with benching White, if I'm honest. Shamil says Lascelles to start or not. He will start. Botman's still out, so, you know, Lascelles is the natural replacement. Balaji says his share injured. No, he's not injured. He was expected to be rotated in the Carabao Cup, but Howard then went on to say that he had been ill. Can't remember where the exact quote is. I think he'll be back. I'd be very surprised if he didn't play. If he was ill on Wednesday, surely he's better by. When do they play? Is that game today? I've not actually really properly studied the fixtures yet. It's tonight. I'm looking forward to watching that one, actually. Some good games on tomorrow as well, especially if you own lots of Aston Villa players and Salah. Haaland at 3 o'clock, not going to be able to watch his haul. I'll put a captain poll live as well. See where people are at. I also want to know if anyone's going to be triple captain in Haaland. So we've got Haaland v Bournemouth at home. We've got a triple captain Haaland. We've got Salah v Luton away, who love conceding on their left side, and other. So if you all give that one a vote. We're at 70 likes now on the stream. Let's try and get it to 100. There's 130 of you in. Lost my place in the chat now. Oh, you've been busy with the questions, guys. Raza, I go with triple captain with Salah. I think it's the right time. What do you think? I think I've been put off by how the Carabao Cup fixtures are landing. That, you know, Salah could, in theory, have a really tasty double game week coming up in the new year. I think the stars align more for Haaland, the home game, his goal scoring record, his form at home, Bournemouth without their goalkeeper, the midweek off. Salah played 90, didn't he, in the Carabao Cup midweek? Douglas Luiz, yeah, I like him. Nelson says, my only Liverpool player is Salah. Is it worth taking a -4, -8 to bring in Tsimikas or Darwin as a third forward? I wouldn't take a hit for a defender or Darwin, if I'm honest. I think Tsimikas on a free transfer in the next week is probably advantageous. Sorry, my mic's going a bit weird. 1 second. Right, hopefully the mic's better now. It was tilting in some crazy direction. Sudeep says Saliba or Burn, who to start this week? Burn. Rannock says Gordon, Mbomo or Adingra. I would go with Mbomo if you can get there. Just making sure I've not missed any members' questions. Well, I've been chatting. Channel memberships are on, by the way, guys. If you are interested in supporting the channel. TPS player says Haaland isn't good at scoring against 3 of the next 4 fixtures. I don't care. I'm focused on this week. Bournemouth at home. That's the one. Peter, I have made the free transfer of Udogie to Simicast. Is it worth taking a -4 for Diaz to Szoboszlai or Bowen? I mean, Bowen's away record's pretty good, but no, I don't think I'd take the hit. Who's your first sub? Nick says, where you're all coming overall, I'm 339k. It's impressive. I am 175k. 2 huge green arrows in the last 2 weeks. A 95 and a 90 to take me from 1.2 million to inside the top 200k. Just need to keep building from here. Toasted, looking to who to bench. I wouldn't bench Haaland, Alvarez or Watkins or Salah or Son or Saka. So it's between Adingra and Bowen. I think probably Adingra. Shamil says Douglas Luiz or Diaby. I think Diaby's worth the extra. Cher is not injured. Salah or Son captain? Salah. Rannoch, Ward-Prowse and Bomo or Diaby for a hit. See, Bomo is a great fixture this week, but then tough for the next 2. Diaby just doesn't have as many routes to points. I think if you buy in one, it's Bomo, but I don't know if I'd do it for a hit. The man, the myth, the legend. Thoughts on upgrading Foster to Edouard? Yeah, I think it could work. Eze's could be in the squad for Palace, which is certainly going to improve their attacking output. So I think that could be a move that could potentially pay off for you. Right, we're at 79 likes now. Let's get it to 100 likes as a minimum. Currently on the captain poll, 74% on Haaland, 19% Salah, 2% other, and 4% going with the triple captain Haaland. Interesting numbers. Just going to have a quick check round on multiple tabs that I'm not missing any team leaks. Let's have a look on X-Pro, see what's going on there. I think we're looking fairly clear at the moment. Nothing notable. Not that we like the drama. I feel like at the start of the season, these streams were really stressful, like waiting on specific news and stuff, and now it's got a bit quieter, a bit easier. Like, it's nice to be kept on your toes at times. So I'm just going to check we've not missed any other members' questions. Now D says, how about Alvarez captain? I think if you don't own Haaland, I don't mind Alvarez captain, but I think I'd probably go Salah, given how weak Luton are on that side. I think I'm just going to check on Emma Jump the Wave, but I think City are very likely to be unchanged for this fixture. Let me see where it will be. Here we go. So it's predicted to be Haaland with a midfield of Grealish, Nunes, Alvarez, Foden, Rodri and Stones in the middle, Ake, Ruben Diaz and Akanji with Edison in goal. Stones could be a bit of a gem this week, you know. But yeah, I'm expecting them to be unchanged. I guess it's if Akanji comes back in for Vardiol is the big one. Interestingly, the fans fancy Doku to start over Grealish this week. Interesting. 150 of you in now. We're 8 likes off 100. Help me out, guys. Liam's predicting Hwang hat-trick today. Yeah, I don't want to own him long term, though. Obed says Mbomo or Diaby. Mbomo. Johan says, played my free hit. Interesting. Linford wants a hello. Hello, Linford. I'm on multiple tabs. I do apologise. On a free hit then for this week. Let's filter it by all players. Yeah, it's Haaland, Son, Salah and Bomo, Maddison, Wilson, Foden. Probably the key ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That front 7, to be fair, is reasonably affordable. And then I would get a City defender in like Stones. Tsimikas is fine. Trippier if you can afford it. If not, a Porro, a Tsimikas, a Pinnock. In goal, I think you just go cheap, don't you? Flecken. Let me know how the free hit goes. I wouldn't advocate playing the free hit this week. Let me see what I've got here. No, that's not a leak. I thought I had a leak there, but it wasn't. It was just a message. Let's just check on the tweet deck that we haven't missed any leaks. No, I think it's fairly clear at the moment. So I'll go back to putting my team on screen so you can see what I'm doing this week and keep carrying on with your questions. So keep them coming. Glyn says, should I sell Bowen for Diaby this game week? No, I don't think so. Linford says, start Saliba or Burn this week. I would start Burn. Newcastle defence very solid, especially at home. Birdie is in. Good to see you as well. Callis says Bowen or Antonio for captain. Neither. It's got to be Haaland captain, or if not, Salah or Son. Those picks are just so good this week. You don't need to be clever. Rannick says, is Botman due a price drop? Probably. So going up tonight, Taylor, Walker, Tsimikas, and going down, Neto, Morris, Trippier, Diaz. Botman due to drop in 2 days, but obviously that could change depending on, what happens in the meantime. We've got to 100 likes. Thank you, guys. Keep them coming. There's 163 of you watching, which I think is a peak now for today's stream. I'll be bringing you any team leaks that come out as well, so it's well worth hanging around and seeing what I've got in store for you. But it all looks quiet at the moment in terms of those leaks. Apparently Beardy's left Harry's stream to come and join this one. You're more likely to get your question answered here because it's a bit quieter. Oh dear. Marie says Gabrielle or Burn. Burn for me. Nicholas says Gabrielle, Lascelles or Branthwaite this week. Currently on Gabrielle. I think I'd go Lascelles. Matthew, start Martinelli or Archer? Martinelli. Diaz or Saka? I'd go Saka. Football with Sud says, my defence is Trippier, Romero, Cash, Maguire, Taylor. Pick 3. Or should I make a transfer? No, start Trippier, Cash and... it's between Romero and Taylor. Maybe give Taylor a go. Cash in for Trippier. Yeah, I'm not sure how hot I am on that. If you've got 2 frees and you're looking to release funds, then maybe. But if you've only got 1 free, I think I'd just roll the transfer. I'm not... Cash has been like playing a slightly deeper role in the last couple of games, and I think it's just worth monitoring. I don't think he's an obvious buy this week. Let's put it that way. Akshat very kindly put in a chat, make sure to like the stream and subscribe to the channel as well. As I said, we're going for 30,000 new subs on the channel for the end of the year. VL, would you start Saka or do Diaz to Matoma and start him? I think if you've got Diaz benched, I think that's fine. Mike is in. Good to see you, Mike. First bench, you Doggy or Archer? There's a chance you Doggy doesn't play. It'll probably be taken out of your hands. But, you know, because he could be prone to an early sub, I think I'd just start Archer. Promoter, play Trippier and White, both. No, I'd just play Trippier. Please don't spam the chat with duplicate questions. Finally got down to Linford's Good Morning Mod Squad. We're there eventually. I am rolling the transfer this week. Red, start Ward-Prowse or Wisser. I think Ward-Prowse just got more upside, I think. Wisser at home now. What's Wisser's record like at home? It's been a bit weird at the last few weeks. Morpay has been kind of playing in that front 3. Scored in his last home game. 2 attack returns at home. Yeah, I think Ward-Prowse. I've not got much bench this week, have I? I think if one of my defenders was rested, I'd be in trouble. Peter, why are people not going for Lascelles? Probably just a fixture this week, putting them off. I think more going with Taylor. Sherang says, any update on injuries, players? We've not had any leaks through today yet, but you've got all the kind of fresh information on screen. Udogi is a 50-50, but I would sell him anyway because I don't like that. It looks like Bayer in the squad for Burnley. If that affects anyone. No idea whether he starts, but it sounds like he will be involved in some of the game. I know that's not particularly helpful, but news is news. We cannot be fussy. It's obviously with the squad. Daniel, morning. I have Sterling. Really thinking of taking a -4. Would you hold or swap? If so, for who? 0.8 in the bank. Oh dear, Sterling. I don't think I'd hold him, to be fair. I think if you've not got on Bomo, I think he's a good long-term pick. Let's have a look at the predictions for midfielders over the next 4 game weeks. I mean, you know, you can't get to Maddison, can you? Yeah, and Bomo's the main one. I think if you've got on Bomo, it's more of a difficult decision. If you've not got on Bomo, I'd maybe take the -4. Try and only put your question in the chat once, please. Fionky Bobaz, Burn to Gay. 1 free transfer, nothing in the bank. Bank line is Burn, Gabriel, Cash, Taylor and Lamptey, likely rolling next week. Now, I think I'd just leave it. Because you've got Lamptey will be involved. You've got Cash, Gabriel probably will be involved as well. So I think you've got players to come in. Linford says, I've got Sobersley in my draft team and looking to bring him in. Yeah. Sobersley. I think the difficulty for me is that he's not in the top 6 Liverpool players in terms of predicted points. I think he's a nice pick in draft, but I think for FPL, I'd sooner punt on Darwin. And you know how much or how lack of a Darwin fan I am. So that probably says a lot in terms of my thoughts on that one. There's 173 of you in, which is phenomenal. Thank you so much for choosing to join me. I am going to keep ploughing on through the questions. Any duplicate questions, I'm putting people in time out though. So, Rohit, 2 of 3 between Alvarez, Watkins, Darwin for this game week only on free hit. Alvarez and Watkins. John Doe, Gabriel, Archer or Lamptey. I'm sure I've done that one as well. Archer. As is, any suggestions, guys? Cash or Trippier? Trippier. Unless you need the funds elsewhere. Add it 2 free transfers. Should I do Burn to Guy, considering the good Palace fixtures? I don't have trips. I'm not sure if it will pay off, if I'm honest. But if you've got a transfer to Burn, then yeah, maybe. Jazim, Diaz hold or transfer to Eze or Foden or Jota? I don't mind Foden for a 1 week punt if you've got 2 frees. But just look seriously at his squad and think about whether, you really need that. Whether that is the weakest link in your squad. Then Bomo, Maddison are the main ones that you should be focusing on. But if you've got them already, I understand it's a bit more difficult. Diaby in there as well. I Love Kebab says what to do with Odegaard. Prefer Saka. He should play, but it's not a great fixture. I think there's better options in the midfield. I'm really happy with my midfield at the moment. Obviously, I'd love to own Saka as well. But I think I'm pretty much close to optimal at the minute with Mbomo, Salah, Son, Diaby, Maddison. So if there's any names in there that you don't own, then get them first. The Huckabee Brothers says transfer Ward-Prowse for Matoma or Bowen. I prefer Mbomo and Diaby, but if I had to, probably Matoma just. Femi, start Burn and roll the transfer so I can make Alvarez, Maddison and Anderson to Archer, Saka and Gordon next week for -4. Yeah, easy roll. I think a lot of managers with 1 transfer should look to roll the transfer. Shamil, Captain Haaland, save rank. Yeah, just on the poll, by the way, 68% say Captain Haaland this week. 5% fancying the triple captain. Good luck if you go for it. When he gets his 20-pointer, I'll be very jealous that I've bottled it. Salah at 23%, lots of love for him. 3% other. We've got no leaks at the moment by the looks of things. I am just going to have a check around. Let's have a look on X Pro. See what's going on. Yeah, the only thing I've got is that Bayer is in the squad for the game for Burnley. Nothing else at the moment. We've got 36 minutes until the deadline. I am trying to rattle through as many questions as possible, so stay patient. I will get to yours. Do not worry. We're nearly at 200 people in. Keep hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel as well. Let's try and get it up to 150 likes. There'll be people in here that haven't liked and subscribed yet, so help me out. I'll go back to my team just for now, but when we get closer to the deadline, I will... keep the X Pro open. Sorry, just trying to manage all the tabs and making sure that I do not miss anything. Titus says, what do you mean sell Udogie due to fixtures? Yeah, I don't like his fixtures anyway, even if he is... Oh, whoa. I accidentally saved my captain there, didn't I? What's gone on there? I was still on Haaland captain, Salah vice. Yeah, I don't like Spurs fixtures from a clean sheet perspective over the next 6. Chelsea at home, Wolves away is nice, but then it's Villa at home, City away, West Ham at home, Newcastle at home. Can't see that many clean sheets in there. I think there's better defensive options, which is why I said sell him anyway. Sudeep wants to know who to start between Gordon or Diaby. Probably Diaby this week. Tyker says Saka or Maddison. Bit of a coin flip for me. On predicted points over the next 4 game weeks, though. Saka wins over the next 4, but Maddison wins this week. I think over the next 3, it's Maddison. It's only when you go to the next 4, it's Saka. It's a close call. I wouldn't be moving from one to the other, put it that way. Mansour says, I have Udogie, Estupinan and Botman, only one free transfer. I think Botman is likely to be back last, so I think he would be the one I would replace. Simicas, if you've not got him. If you've got him, then, you know, you could go to Lascelles, Taylor. Peter, first and second sub is Burn and Archer. Yeah, I think a lot of people will be in that situation. I'm starting Burn now. I'm hopeful for him. Freezy says Watkins or Matoma. Got to be Watkins. Nick, I really don't know who to favour out of my Arsenal and Newcastle players. I got Saka and Nketiah, Gordon in attack. I've got to play 2 of them. Then either Burn or Saliba. I'd play Burn. Saka and Gordon. I don't think Nketiah is even nailed down to start. Be a bit harsh to drop him. I'm sure I've seen predictions where he doesn't know. 79% think Nketiah will start. If I just have a look on the hub at Ben Dinnery's predicted lineups, they're always quite nice to look at as well. I feel like he's got a very good feel for who will start and who will not. Remember, this is something else that you can get as a hub member. 7-day free trial available now using the link in the description or pinned in the chat. I've put it back in the chat as well. Yeah, Nketiah predicted to start. That's the predicted Arsenal lineup if it affects anyone today. But yeah, make sure you're checking out that 7-day free trial because, you know, all the things that you see me looking at on the stream, the predicted points, the Opta stats, the price predictions, the My Team tool with the AI recommended transfers, it's all available for members. So you might as well have a 7-day free trial, see what you think to it, and then decide whether you want to continue or not. You've got nothing to lose. We've got to 150 likes. That's amazing, guys. Thank you so much. Keep the questions coming. We've got 30 minutes until the deadline, so it's starting to look like time to maybe commit to locking in your moves. In terms of leaks, it's quite quiet on that front at the moment. 200 of you in as well, which is amazing. Thank you for choosing to spend the morning with me. Yeah, nothing going on X Pro at the moment. Let me know. I always find it difficult to know what tab to be on. So let me know in the poll, in this poll, which tab should I show? My FPL team or the tweet deck? A flash 1-minute question. And while you're answering that, I'll do some more of your questions as well. Have I lost my place in the chat? If I have, that's a nightmare. Well, there seems to be a lot of chat about Rashford. I need to get a move on answering these questions, else I'm never going to get through them all. Completely lost my place. Nightmare. And I've done that. I think I know where I am now. I Love Kebab says start Trippier or Porro. I'd start Trippier. Haaland stretching into the weekend, if anyone can see that one. Must have posted that somewhere. Yeah, 29 minutes to deadline. Grill says bench Trippier or Gabriel. Gabriel. Would I start Lamptey over Porro? No, don't think so. No guarantees he starts. What does top 1% or 2% mean? So there's 10 million managers. So if you're in the top 100,000, you're in the top 1%. Keelan, who's the better option for captain, Salah or Alvarez? Salah. Huckabee brothers, Matoma or Bowen? Matoma just. Amari, I would start Porro of those three. I'm not doing full rate my teams unless they're on Super Chat, so try and ask more specific questions and it just helps me to get through more. I would bench Gabriel over Trippier. I would go with Gay over Mitchell. I seem to have lost one of my tabs with the leaks on. People prefer my FPL team. That's good. I can keep on track with that then. Christopher, I've got 0.5 million in the bank. I've got Lamptey, Burn and Gabriel. 2 free transfers. What should I do? Play Burn. Paolo, sell a Dingra for Bowen or Gay for you, Dougie. It depends if you've got bench options. I like a Dingra to Bomo, though. Archer as a differential, don't love it. Nice first sub, but not a starter. Chloe has asked, who is the best James Ward-Prowse replacement? And Bomo. Is Burn a keep or a sell? Is a keep for me. I think Ward-Prowse will start. Sobersley, I don't love as a pick. He's okay. Just okay, though. David, I'm sure I've done that one already. A Dingra is okay as a differential, but only if you're in that kind of place. Linford, we're not going to get any new updates on Udogi bar Watson, that breaking news tab. They don't play till Monday. I think it's 50-50, but I don't think he's a great pick anyway, even if he's fit, so I just make the transfer. Johan, should I get Foden for Louise or Gross? Foden feels like quite a short-term move. Sales asking for a question for a boyfriend. 1 free transfer, roll with Diaz or Diaz to Matoma. Don't mind Diaz to Matoma. Question on what the United lineup is. Not had any leaks yet, as far as I can see. It's all quiet at the moment. But I can get the predicted lineups up because I know that that's useful as well. So it looks like Onana, Reguilon, Maguire, Varane, Dallo. So it looks like Lindelof will miss out, but Varane is back. Then Amrabat, Fernandez, possibly McTominay, Rasmus, Anthony, Rashford. It's a prediction. I'll see what Ben's predicted lineup is as well. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the same. Let's just have a look then, because I feel like maybe we've got some leaks coming through now. I've definitely had something flash up on my watch that looks like it could be relevant. Let's give it a refresh. Don't know what that's meant to mean. There's going to be some big news. The United team news is going to be interesting. But I don't know what it is yet. Oh, dear. Matoma or Bowen? Matoma just. Will Lamptey start? I don't know. The prediction is no, and I think I've got to agree with that if I'm honest. Rashford news. Looks like Rashford is a doubt. That is the news from United. Let me get the exact thing up here. Marcus Rashford, fitness hangs in the balance as the late test looms for today's game. Rashford didn't train yesterday due to injury and faces a late fitness test. Now, I know not many of you have Rashford anymore, but still, it's quite big news nonetheless. So, Rashford, late fitness. Hasn't trained. That is a very reliable source, by the way. Let me just try an update on your screens. Fingers crossed my... as a United fan. Oh, gosh. Who's going to start then now? Who comes in for Rashford? That's the question. That is, that will be firm news. I can't see anyone else reporting that either, so we'll see. What do we think? I've kind of lost all focus now after seeing that. I do apologise. Oh, dear. It's all kicking off. But this is why we're here. I'm always here bringing you the leaks. It's all going on. More carnage for a Saturday morning. Even worse for United fans everywhere. Yeah, I guess Garnacho will come in. Good point. Right, I'm going to keep the tweet deck open because it's all kicking off. But I will as well. Sorry, I just need to readjust my tabs so that I don't miss anything. As well. I'm rolling a transfer. Will a Dingra start? I don't see why not. He was on the prediction, wasn't he? Yeah. I think he's pretty locked in while we've got March out. Let's see any other updates. Arsenal posting Gabriel and Saliba in training on Friday. Pretty sure they'll start together this week. How highly owned is Rashford in FPL still then? I bet it's higher than you think. Don't know whether the FPL site's running slow or it's just my PC. 14.3% still own Rashford. So if you are one of them, definitely sell. I mean, you should have sold a while back, but if you're still in there. Linford said he transferred out Rashford for Maddison last week. Harry's wanting to bench Saka because he's got double Newcastle defence. I just wouldn't do that. Because if Arsenal do score, then you can bet it's going to be Saka who's involved. Hopefully someone else takes an Arsenal penalty and Pope saves it and you get points that way. I'd go with Ndingra over Mitchell. I'm keeping the tweet deck open now. We've got 19 minutes till the deadline. I am rolling my transfer. Ian says, would you keep Hoyland or sell for Darwin? I think I'd sell for Darwin. I think the writing's on the wall at United at the moment. Akash, replacement for Neto. I like Gordon, if you can get there, if not Ndingra. I would keep Shah, play him. He should play. Areola v Turner, gotta be... Let me just check. Yeah, it's got to be Areola, I think. I know Forest are at home, but I think Turner could lose his place soon either. Keep the tweet deck open, see what's going on. I would put Taylor over Gabriel on your bench this week. I would start Burn over Lamptey and Gabriel. Yazim, I would play Gordon. Reece James hasn't played Linford, that's why he's not taking any penalties. He needs to be on the pitch for that first. I think Poch said that Sterling and Jackson are in the mix, but again, they need to be on the pitch. Wilson v Darwin. Probably Darwin for the next two, just on fixtures. Nketiah or Douglas Luiz. I don't love either, maybe Luiz of the two. Start Paro or get Simicas or Gay. I think I would get Simicas in if it's a free transfer. Any updates on Zuma? No, I don't think I've seen anything. Did I miss it yesterday? If I've missed something. I don't think anything was mentioned. Oh, yeah, here, look. I'm not sure if Zuma will make the trip to Brentford yet. He's trained a bit, so we'll see how he goes. Not particularly useful, I'm afraid. Right, we are 17 minutes out to the deadline. So you definitely need to be thinking about making those late changes and transfers if you haven't done so already. Aoishi, is Nketiah, Alvarez, Nunes up front? I mean, you're missing Haaland and Watkins, so yeah, I don't love it. Salah triple captain, no, I don't think I'd do that. Kuna v Sheffield or Bowen v Brentford? Bowen. Best formation for free hit? 3-5-2. Nketiah or Luiz? Luiz just. I'd play Ndingra over Mitchell. Harvard, I would start Burn. I should imagine Maguire starts, but I've not seen a leaked team just yet, guys. But yeah. Suzanne, that move looks okay. Who will start between Fati and Pedro? Who knows with the Zerbies? Worse than Pep. Trahan, anyone with me on Son Captain? Not that many, but I think he's still a good pick. I wouldn't go from you Doggy to Reece James, but I would sell you Doggy for like Simicas. Ryan, choose one. Archer, Gabriel, Taylor. Taylor. Neil says, congratulations on last week's marathon stream. Play one of Ward-Prowse, Doggy or Gabriel. Ward-Prowse. Any news on Doggy and Estupinan? Doggy's 50-50. I'd sell. Estupinan not back yet, so wouldn't buy. I'd go Diaby over Ward-Prowse. Interesting, this from FPL Main Road. Can you see this? I expect some sort of rotation today. I'm thinking he might start Calvin as Rodri is 1 booking away from suspension with Chelsea, Pool, Spurs in next 3. I think Foden is starting. That's interesting. I don't know how firm that is. I think that's more of an opinion. Foden to start, so I'll quote a question mark. Rodri benched. That doesn't bode quite so well for Haaland captain, if that is true. But we'll go with it. We'll report on what's there. Don't know if this is going to let me update now. Whoa, what happened there? Bringing you the leaks though, guys. So if you're finding it useful, make sure you subscribed to the channel. Right, be updated. It's not updated, is it? There we go. Ivo's playing for Rodri benching. Are you a non... Let me guess, you don't own Haaland. I think non-Haaland owners need an absolute prayer this week. We are 13 minutes out to the deadline. As a reminder, I am rolling my free transfer. Nagy, Captain Eze or Rashford? Neither. Step away. But if your captain's not Haaland, Salah or Son, then you're playing FPL wrong. Ishan, Burn or Zinchenko? Who to start? Burn. No changes for my team. I am rolling. I wouldn't bring in Hwang this week because I don't like him long term. A Dingler I prefer on that price point. Dev's following 2 streams at the same time. As long as mine is one of them, that is absolutely fine with me. There's 210 of you in. Let's get it to 200 likes. I'm ploughing on through the questions as well, guys. Good luck, Rannick. Have a good game week. Michael says, is it worth a hit to get rid of Cher or you doggy? No. Rodri benched is more of an opinioned rumour than fact. But FPL Main Road has been quite good with kind of these vibes. But I wouldn't take it as gospel. Diaz, I would sell if I had 2 frees. Anderson for Simicast sounds okay. Nagy has Bruno, Rashford and Fernandes. Well, hurry up and sell them. No other United news in just yet. We're at 11 minutes to the deadline. Gunton, looking at the weather, says it's raining in Manchester today, sunny in Luton tomorrow. Does that mean it's Salah captain for you? Strange game, FPL. FPL Villain says Rodri's on 3 yellows. Hang on. Let me look at this. He's been suspended, hasn't he? He served. He got red carded. Against Forest. Missed Wolves and Arsenal. I don't think... Let me just check, because I'm sure they've got this on the hub. To do with the suspension tightrope. If you see it and I've gone past it, then let me know. We're still in game week 11. Yellow card watch, here we go. Rodri, 3 bookings. Rodri sent off game week 6. Yeah, so it looks like... Yeah, I don't know how kind of serious that is. Anyway, let's get back to see if we've got any more leaks coming through. I don't think I can spot anything at the minute. Simon is in. Happy birthday to Simon. Go and wish him well in the chat at Nigel the Crab is the handle you need. Good to see you. Better late than never is what I would say. I'll let you off if it's your birthday. I'm still looking to roll the transfer. So Rashford is a late fitness test and hasn't trained. Udogie is a 50-50. I would sell anyway because I don't like his fixtures. And some opinion kind of news I'd say from City is that Foden should possibly start with Rodri maybe benched because it's an easier fixture and he is clocking up the yellow cards. I'm going to keep the tweet deck open for the last 7 minutes and I seem to have lost the chat. Hang on. Oh no. Gotta pray my computer doesn't crash now. I just clicked on the wrong thing and now it's trying to load something up that we don't want. Everything's gone haywire. No, I think we're okay. Just check that I've not missed any members' questions. We're at 7 minutes to the deadline now. Apparently I told Edward he was mad for captaining Darwin last week and then he captained Saka. Kuna or Bowen decision. It isn't a decision in my book. I'd go Salah cap over Haaland cap. Hang on. Feel like I've lost my place in the chat again. Linford says Saka or Mbomo. I mean, is that a transfer in or is that just who to buy? I think probably Saka. It's raining apparently. Yeah, it's just starting to rain here as well, actually, by the looks of things, that window. 5 minutes to deadline. I'll get my team back up as well. Where's it gone? I think it's the FPL site. It's very slow this morning. Haaland captain for me. Salah vice, rolling a transfer. 5 minutes now to the deadline. I think what I'll do is I'll leave my team on screen and I'll open the tweet deck in another tab, and then at least if something happens, I can reference it. That's the plan. But it looks like Rashford hasn't trained and is a late fitness test for United. I mean, the game kicks off in an hour and a half. So I have to see what that means. Yeah, I don't think that Rodri thing is like really serious. Starting Ketia, maybe, yeah. Chloe's locked, Holland captain. Attis. Do I think Gusto or James will start for Chelsea? I think it'd be Gusto. I would start Gusto. No. Gusto or Gabriel. I'd make a move. Get Gusto out and buy Charlie Taylor. Ivo says Rashford playing FIFA with Sancho potentially. 4 minutes to the deadline. Everything that we know is on screen. We've hit 200 likes as well, which is sensational. So thank you guys. Fabian, Burn. I'd start Newcastle. Any Newcastle defenders I would start over Arsenal defenders this week. Yeah, City struggle without Rodri. Don't think they're going to struggle against Bournemouth, though, even if he is benched. No Saka. Yeah, you can't own them all, unfortunately. You cannot own them all. But I've done doing pretty well without him. Yeah, it's just about to chuck it down here. Saka starts. Does he? Not seeing that leak anywhere. It's not on the tweet deck. If it's not on the tweet deck, it doesn't count. I would start Taylor over Gabriel. Two minutes to the deadline, guys, to lock in your squads. Doesn't look like there's any other information coming our way. So take what you know and make those decisions and lock in. I'd start Taylor over Gabriel, Saka or Maddison. Maddison. For now, anyway. For now. It's all kicking off. I need to get Saka soon. I don't know how. People are saying Saka's overrated. I guess the issue is, it's the pens, isn't it? Is he on pens? Is he not on pens? Will he take the next pen? I would start Leno over Areola now, I think. Gotta be the way. We are 1 minute to deadline. I think there's a slight delay on stream as well. So for you guys watching this now, probably 40 seconds to go. So if you have not made your transfers yet, this is the time to do it. We've not got any more leaks. So we can only go with the information that we have. You doggy a 50-50, but I'd sell anyway. Diaz, I'd probably sell anyway. Again, he's deciding whether he wants to be available or not. Play your Newcastle defenders over your Arsenal ones. Rashford, a late fitness test, hasn't trained and big doubt for the game. We expect Foden to start for City. There's a potential that Rodri could be benched. I think that's probably going to be a lot, guys. Lock in. Now is the time. Linford is locked. Good to see, Linford. Good luck for the game week. We are at the deadline. Wow. So let's... Don't know what's going to come from this deadline or this game week. Certainly for me, having had 2 really good game weeks, I'm hopeful I can keep it going. But, you know, it's far from nailed, this progress to come over the next few weeks. But we're having fun along the way. It always feels good to be doing well in FPL. And certainly I've got the rank at the moment to show that this is going to be a good season for me. I don't know how I get Saka. That's my question next. Because come next week, I'm going to be looking at both Spurs mids and thinking I want Saka. But I cannot get... Without selling cash, I cannot get to Saka in 2 moves. What I might do next week is Botman out for Baldock. which will free up about 0.7 million. Hopefully my team's in a good enough shape for next week that I can just roll. Just having a look now, actually. Great. That's not what I wanted. If I go back. I think most of my players have got fairly favourable fixtures for next week. Other than Mbomo. But I feel like Mbomo's a long-term hold now. I think I'm happy to have him for a while and see what happens. I'm excited for this game week then. Particularly with Haaland. I think he can really do big things and hopefully repay the faith. But thank you so much to everyone that has joined me today. I hope you all have a brilliant game week 11 and beyond. It's been another amazing stream. So thank you to everyone that's watched to the end, got this far. If you've liked the stream as well, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, remember I'm aiming for 30k subs by the end of the year, and I am going to need a lot of help to get there. So if you're watching now and you haven't subscribed, about 50% of my watchers don't subscribe. Now is the time to do it. I hope you have a brilliant game week. I'll be back with the deal sheet video on Monday.